Before I begin the June report, I want to make an announcement about the next New Horizons podcast, which is going to be a live podcast about the summer solstice of 2024. Please join me and three other knowledgeable, engaging astrologers, Elizabeth Hazel and Sherry Horn Hassan, will be joining me on YouTube, live YouTube broadcast, if you will, of the summer solstice. Thank you very much. June presents an interesting month. The astrological configuration of planets for both Washington and Jerusalem are nearly identical at dawn in both locations. Now, that's not terribly unusual, but both charts are focused on the conflict in Palestine and strongly suggest that these two capitals will likely continue to be embroiled in strong domestic conflicts and legal rulings. The higher consciousness in these charts tells us that time is running out, and the fate of both countries depends on a real transformation of consciousness, or the world could easily just sleepwalk into World War III. The Trump verdict is in, marking the end of this lunation cycle, which ended with the new moon on June 5th. This new moon is conjunct Trump's Uranus, which marks a fundamental change in his status and indicates that change is necessary, so that is why I think he was convicted. Finally, the comet associated with disasters is closest to Earth now, and might we look out for some kind of natural or perhaps unnatural disasters? If you know your moon and rising signs, please listen to those as well. Because individual participation in consciousness expansion is the antidote to the negative events in the world. Aries, heal your wounds. They don't weaken, they strengthen you. Be patient, exercise restraint. This way you relate from your strength instead of acting out of frustration. You are challenged to regain that stronger faith in yourself. Taurus, you are given now to be driven mostly by the curiosity of what possibilities lie beyond your previous sense of limits. This motivates your work, your relationships, and leaves you with a sense of calm despite social limitations. Gemini, avoiding arguments is best despite your perceived need to correct others about their beliefs. Take a new direction with your questioning of reality. You must risk making this change in order to develop a more confident self. Cancer, you are in conflict with your need to express your real feelings, simply because of your fear of rejection. Your real need is to risk transforming and taking the higher road. The change needed is toward more self-confidence. Leo, try caring less about your social life and more about improving your inner life. Changing your thinking can enhance your connection with others and lead to a career change. Follow your urge to provide service to others. Virgo, don't compare yourself to others. It is an old habit from childhood experience of the family dynamics. You are worthy and capable. Your capacity for discipline is based upon your need to act from your desire to serve others. Libra, overcoming your fears is essential if you are trying to change your direction in a meaningful way. Have more faith in yourself and ignore the world of social standards. Don't question your need to be valid and authentic. Scorpio, less skepticism is in order if you want to regenerate your self-compassion. Trying new directions and new ideas can help improve or elevate your self-confidence, allowing you to really face your fear of rejection. Sagittarius. Understanding that we have arrived at an important crossroads is very important. Speaking truth to the many fallacies of society is your strength, but it requires a daily infusion of courage and spiritual determination. Capricorn. Improving your economic life involves transcending unnecessary self-criticism. Don't surrender to the idea that changing anything will bring chaos. Finding fault is a strength if aimed at social ills, but not if aimed at yourself. Aquarius. Time for you to take the lead. Service needs to be your motto, and a can-do attitude is required. You can participate in the dawning of a new day by no longer propping up the past, and then instead do the real work of building the future. Pisces. Be courageous. Be compassionate. You know the need to change how we relate and living on the planet is necessary. If you feel like humanity is stuck in the past, you are correct. Your strength is having faith in yourself, along with the courage to believe in love. Using this strength to foster change cannot be overstated. Again, this month, we see a real imbalance between the left and right sides of each chart. The left side, from the Gemini ascendant to Saturn in Pisces, is about the need for resolving social conflict. Both countries face the same issues, as does the whole world. Israel seems to be following the path of the American genocide of the natives of what is now the U.S., and the Germanic descent into genocide. At the same time, the government of Israel is openly using the Holocaust to justify its war against Hamas. The seventh house of war and peace is in Sagittarius, calling for the end of this unjust crusade. The current actions are the latest surge in a conflict that has been going on since 1948. Ever since the mid-1940s, Pluto and Neptune have maintained a sextile aspect between these two planets. This aspect is a productive one between these two planetary energies, so that we have seen the slow but steady revival of spiritual values ever since the early or mid-40s. This is the level of values that are needed to really understand the dire nature of the world situation and to begin a worldwide transformation. Healing ourselves involves both climate change and backing away from war. Both the charts are very similar, but the countries represent similar values. Israel can easily devolve into a permanent social pariah because it is parlaying sympathy for the Jewish Holocaust to justify its war against Hamas. But the United States is showing its true colors by supporting Israel's genocidal war against the Palestinian people. Israel may well become very isolated, and the U.S. might have to change its ironclad support for Israel. The goal of this moment is to revolutionize our understanding of the current reality and demand the real change, the kind that could spread and add to the pressure to face de facto global human needs.